Sports Network presents Major League Lacrosse tonight, live from Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium in Annapolis, Maryland. It's a matchup between two teams in the middle of the playoff race as the 8-2 Chesapeake Bayhawks host the Charlotte Hounds with a record of 6-6. Hi, everybody. I'm Scott Sudikoff alongside Bugs Combs. Very happy to have you with us on a rainy Saturday night in Annapolis. The Bayhawks and the Hounds. Chesapeake can clinch a playoff spot with a win today. Meanwhile, Charlotte trying to hang on to that final playoff spot. Head coach Jim Stagnita in his third year. His team has lost 4 consecutive games after starting the year 6-2, but right now 6-6, tied with New York for the final playoff spot. In goal today for them will be Pierce Bassett. He'll make his 5th appearance of the season. 5th-year pro out of Johns Hopkins. He started 2 prior games this year, does have a 15-save performance and a victory over Ohio earlier this year. On the other side for Chesapeake, head coach Dave Cottle, of course, in his 8th year as the Bayhawks head coach. 3-time Major League Lacrosse champion as the head coach of the Bayhawks. And in goal for him, no surprise, with Nico Amato with the way that he has played this year in his 5th year out of Maryland, as he comes in with a 7-1 record. So, Bugs, the rain has seemed to let up a little bit here, but got to think the track down there, the field down there, is going to be a bit slick as you look down on the field and getting ready for this opening face-off. Noah Rack on the right for Charlotte, and Stephen Kelly on the left for Chesapeake. Of course, no Jake Withers with Charlotte. And the first face-off of the day, a couple of sticks flying early. You can see the puddles splashing up, and Chesapeake gets the first offensive possession. Second time these two teams have played. In fact, the last time Chesapeake lost was at Charlotte on May the 3rd, a 14-13 win that day for the Hounds, but a lot has changed since then. 7 straight wins for Chesapeake, and now Charlotte in the midst of a 4-game losing streak. Out of the box comes Ryan Tucker down the left wing, and that'll be backed up by Charlotte. Good job by Brett Schmidt. So the Hounds get the ball for the first time today.
The first possession for the Bayhawks, you see Ryan Tucker coming out of the box. He comes out a little bit late to create the matchup. Gets a good shot. Just the attack from the Bayhawks weren't ready to back the ball up there.
So the Hounds entered into the attack box. Last time they played was a loss against Dallas, on July 7th. Of course, everybody has had some time off with the World Games going on.
And for Charlotte on their first possession, that's 2 really good shots. You get a shot by John Crawley coming down the side. Nico Amato's on it, and then you get one from Chanichuk up top that shoots high to high, and Amato's there to stop it.
So the Bayhawks in a bit of transition. Costabile going low, and Bassett makes the save. Of course, C.J. Costabile, one of the best defensive long stick players in terms of goal scoring.
And he's probably one of those most valuable guys in the league because he can do so much. He can face off for you, he can play the wing, he can play close defense, and then he's just very dangerous in transition as well.
Hounds finishing off the season on the road this week and next week. 2-3 road record this year. Chesapeake has gone 4-1 here at home on the season. So they still have one more home game left on the season. Ball down behind Nico Amato in net, but picked back up by Kevin Cooper. Cooper trying to roll to the front, and he draws a flag as he shot and scored. The goal's going to count. Jeremy Sievers looked like he was going to pick up a penalty, but Kevin Cooper fights through to score to give Charlotte the lead.
And smart possession there from the Hounds. They noticed to get Jeremy Sievers on the defensive end of the field, mainly an offensive midi. Kevin Cooper playing attack tonight. He gets a short stick matchup, and he just overpower Sieverts. Sieverts is probably going to get called for a hold there, but it doesn't matter. They'll wipe the call off, and that's exactly what Charlotte needed. They get a nice save by Pierce Bassett down the other end. They have a good possession, and they're able to finish their first shot there.
15th goal of the season for Kevin Cooper. So Charlotte gets on the board first here, leading 1-0. Violation going against Charlotte, so Chesapeake have a chance to tie it here. Almost 3 minutes gone by in the first quarter.
I think Coach Stagnia would just like to see at the face-off X. That's been a part where they're not place they haven't been very good so far this year. He just wants to see a battle tonight and make them battle. Now you see Noah Rack jump there and just automatically gives the ball to the Bayhawks on a violation.
When these two teams first played this season, Chesapeake won the face-off battle 17 for 30. Stephen Kelly was at the X for all but one of those face-offs in that game against the Hounds. Again, back May the 3rd, the last time Chesapeake lost.
And that was a great game. The difference was a Michael Earhart 2-point goal, and I think Michael Earhart might have had the best world games of any defenseman out there this past couple weeks. Another Maryland guy, played extremely well as a long pole midfielder and close defenseman for Team USA and winning the championship.
Here's Jay Carlson for the Bayhawks, slings one wide. The backup by Heacock, and I think you're exactly right, because Michael Earhart named the MVP of the World Games for the way he played for Team USA.
And as a defenseman, to get that award in the sport of lacrosse, you have had to play very well, because usually you want to give it to the guy who scored a lot of goals, and Ryan Brown was really impressive for Team USA, scoring a bunch of goals, but it's nice to see Michael Earhart get what he deserves.
I think Ryan Brown had 24 or 25 goals.
He's by far probably the best shooter in the world right now.
And this year, for Charlotte, once he comes back, he's the leading goal scorer and second on Charlotte in points. Hounds goal scored by Kevin Cooper, so they have this 1-0 lead.
And in a game like this, when you're missing so many superstars, it's kind of going to be that unknown guy. Whatever team, whoever from which team is the unknown guy that scores and is most successful, I think that's where you're going to see the team that's going to win.
Amato able to pick that one up in the crease, and
effort from Dylan Maltz there to do a good job as an attackman. You're taught to ride, and he does a great job of getting in front of Amato and getting his stick up and following Amato's stick without letting Amato's sticks touch him, because it would have been a foul on him. And then he catches the ball and he finishes right away. 2-0 start here for Charlotte. Coach Stagnita's got to be extremely happy. They lose both their face-offs, but now they're able to score 2 goals. And it was a good job just by Dylan Maltz being in front of the cage, picking off the pass, not touching Amato's stick, forget a foul, and finishing in tight.
So 2-0 Hounds lead. Ball knocked away by Costabile. And shoved down was Isaiah Davis-Allen. But the Bayhawks able to scoop up the possession. It's Costabile bringing it ahead. Now Costabile has a lane towards goal with the long pole. Deflects well out of play.
And for the Bayhawks, obviously they're missing Matt Danowski, they're missing Byrne, they're missing a bunch of guys. So you see what they've done is they've moved Matt Abbott, who's traditionally a two-way midfielder. He's playing attack right now for those guys just because of how versatile he is as a player. So you see Abbott playing attack for the Bayhawks to start.
That ball turned over by the Bayhawks will give us a whistle and a timeout on the field here. With the score, the Hounds 2 in the Bayhawks 0. Early on here in the first quarter, you're watching Major League Lacrosse on Lax Sports Network.
Welcome to Ellison Training, your destination for learning about the sport of lacrosse. Whether you are new to the sport or play at the highest level, Ellison Training has tips, tools, and guidance. Now here's what you can look forward to. Lax 101 for the newbies, and for you pros, there's also Lax AP. We've worked with some of the best in the business, and it was all for you. For players, for coaches, parents, honestly, anyone. There's drills, tips, how-tos for every aspect of the sport. There's even fitness and nutrition. Ellison Training is where it's at. So what are you waiting for? Wild and crazy Saturday night, and this is Lacrosse Now.
Katie Kerrigan with Ben Reeves.
Be honest, how much do you still think about that goal?
What was it like getting a chance to hoist that trophy?
This is absolute hammer time. Look at this move.
He's perfect. He's exactly what we needed on our offense.
Occupying defenders and eliminating the second slide.
And so this cone and touch.
Get in, get out. Bang. Good.
In 2017, saw a takeover by the Machine. Who will get their hands on the Seinfeld Trophy in 2018? Find out on August 18th when the new MLL champion is crowned in Charleston, South Carolina. Tickets are on sale now at MajorLeagueLacrosse.com. Major League Lacrosse on LAC Sports Network is brought to you by Coca-Cola and by Powerade. .40 to go here in the first quarter. 2-0 Charlotte. And the Hounds in possession of the ball. Goals by Kevin Cooper and Dylan Maltz so far. Scott Sudakoff, Bugs Combs here with you. The rain has let up just a bit. Looking to feed it out in front. John Crowley was open there. And the Bayhawk defense able to converge and get the ball back and rush it upfield.
It was a great job by Matt Reese on defense there, to get to Dylan Maltz's hands. Yes, they had somebody open, but he couldn't make the play because of Reese's defense.
Saw Brandon Mangan sliding across the turf like a slip and slide. Now the Hounds back the other way, and it fired home by Cooper. His second goal, 3-0 Charlotte. Great start for the Hounds here.
Yeah, and transition goal here for the Hounds. Do a great job. Kevin Cooper's a guy that got, I think he should have made the All-Star team, didn't make the All-Star team, and, was able to come back out here tonight with this all-Maryland attack, and Rambo finds him, changes the field, and then he shoots the ball, and he scored high to low last time, so he changes his plane a little bit and goes high to high this time to beat Amato, which Amato's been, he's been a great goalie so far this year, but the first 3 shots that went in on him here, he's made 1 save and he's let up 3 goals.
A Terp to a Terp, shot by a Terp.
A lot of Terps on the field tonight.
So 3-0 Charlotte. Cooper's 16th goal this season, of course, a former Bayhawk, acquired from the Bayhawks last year in a trade. Played 7 games last year with Chesapeake.
And Charlotte, again, they're able, off the face-off violation, they're able to get the ball here without even having to, battle it out or win a face-off. And if they can do that to get a couple extra possessions, that's going to be a big key for them tonight because, again, so far this year, that has not been somewhere they've been successful.
You mentioned Nico Amato in his play this season. Right now, could be the front runner for the goalie of the year. 57% save percentage. With a 7-1 record, 11.20 goals against average. Really took over the starting position kind of midway through that first game against Charlotte back in May.
Yeah, and Brian Phipps was one of the guys that was on that 34, 35-man Team USA kind of traveling roster in the beginning that they were working with. So it's not like there wasn't a good goalie already in place of Brian Phipps. He's had a lot of success in this league, but Nico Amato just got really hot.
Ryan Tucker out to Miles Jones. His lefty shot goes wide. And Charlotte did a good job being in the right position. Pierce Bassett will restart the play for the Hounds. Of course, Miles Jones in that MLL All-Star game was a member of Team USA. Was quote-unquote an extra for Team USA. Did not go to Israel, obviously, but that level of player for sure. Suppose we'll see him 4 years from now in Canada playing for Team USA for sure. Looking for a 4-0 lead and getting drilled after taking the shot was John Crawley, and shot went well wild there. Matt Rambo restarts the play for Charlotte. Rambo gets a step and a save by Amato. Got a stick on it. We'll see if today if Matt Rambo keeps his helmet on all game. Amato stops that one taken by Shannon Chuck. Ground ball won by Chesapeake by Matt Abbott. And now looking to go in transition are the Bayhawks. Rolls over to Colin Heacock, and he will slow things down. Heacock leading the Bayhawks with 19 goals, 11 assists, 31 points. One of his goals, a two-pointer this year.
And Colin Heacock has been the most impressive Bayhawk to me so far this season. Your second year in the league is your hardest league. We talk a lot about a sophomore slump because, your freshman year, your rookie year, you're coming in and you're playing off of, working out and playing 5-6 days a week in college. Your sophomore year, your second year in the MLL, you got to do it all by yourself. And it's extremely hard. You've seen how hard Colin Heacock has worked to put himself in great shape and kind of diversify his game as well.
Mangan trying to get to it for the Bayhawks, but it's Brett Schmidt instead for Charlotte. Start the clear attempt for the Hounds. Schmidt, who has 24 ground balls, 6 caused turnovers entering the day today for the Hounds. Again, without a player like Michael Earhart on defense, have to kind of fill that void a little bit back there. Crawley, save Amato, and he looks to outlet it quickly. Chesapeake trying to get on the board for the first time today. Chesapeake offense that hasn't been tremendous this year. 13.4 goals a game. That's 6th in the league, but they allow the fewest goals per game. Here's a two-pointer attempt by one of the best all-time at that. Jeremy Sieverts couldn't get it on cage, though.
And a great trade for the Bayhawks to get Sieverts. I think it's a perfect piece for what they already have, even when all the world team guys come back. Big right-handed shooter, something they didn't have in their lineup earlier this year, and just makes it, makes them even more of a threat.
Here's Jones, lefty trigger and blocked. Bounces to the near side. Still going to be with the Bayhawks. Colin Heacock will restart the play. Heacock had 3 goals and an assist the first time these two teams played. Sieverts fires it across, and the shot taken by Abbott there. And we get a stoppage of play, and we'll take a timeout with 4:16 remaining in this first quarter of play. Excuse me. It's been all Hounds so far. Charlotte 3, Chesapeake nothing. You're watching Lax Sports Network.
What's up, lacrosse fans? I'm Alex Fuller. Do you know an outstanding player who has recently done something so awesome on the field and you think they deserve to be put in the spotlight? You're in luck. We are now introducing LSN Spotlight. Parents, coaches, even players, if you have someone in mind, send us their name, age, who they play for, and either a picture or video to lsnspotlight@laxsportsnetwork.com for a chance to be featured. Come on, I know you all want to highlight your sick BTBs or crazy 10-goal games, or even your most creative sellies.
What's up, lacrosse fans? Have you heard? Lax Sports Network is now free. You can enjoy over 150 live games, including all of the MLL regular season and over 200 hours of original content. Check us out at laxsportsnetwork.com or download the LSN app. Available on iOS, Android, Roku, Chromecast, Amazon Fire Stick, Apple TV, and Xbox. It's all free, so what are you waiting for?
York sat atop the lacrosse world. 2016 was the year of the Outlaws. And 2017 saw a takeover by the Machine. Who will get their hands on the Seinfeld Trophy in 2018? Find out on August 18th with a new MLL.
Lax Sports Network is your home for the most in-depth coverage of Major League Lacrosse every Wednesday afternoon. Make sure to check out MLL Press Pass, the only place to hear from all 9 head coaches as they look back at their most recent game and look ahead to their next opponent. MLL Press Pass every Wednesday at 1 p.m. only on Lax Sports Network. And Bugs, I was co-hosting MLL Press Pass this past Wednesday with Travis Eldridge, able to speak to both Jim Stagnita and Dave Cottle. And one of the things that stood out that Dave Cottle talked about his team during the streak is just kind of how together the team is, that there's much more of a family-like atmosphere with this team. And certainly it's shown on the field with this 7-game winning streak.
It has, and you find the teams in this league that are the most successful are the ones that have the continuity. It's not necessarily the best players, but it's how the teams play together, because there's so many great players that play in this league. It's kind of the guys that gel together and figure out what their role is, and they play their role well.
Rambo, lefty shot. Amato got a piece of it, but couldn't control the rebound. Picked right back up by the Hounds, and Amato makes another save. This time able to trap it in the crease before Rambo could get to it.
Amato really bailing out his defense the last 2 or 3 possessions so far, but the clearing game has really been a point where the Bayhawks are having trouble giving second opportunities to the Hounds, and you can't give guys second opportunities. The offense is just too good in this league.
Here's Cooper, who has 2 goals already here in the first quarter. And now Jim Stagnita talked about, and he didn't mince any words, but really he said that he's been hamstrung a bit with the lineup changes he's had to deal with. As good drive by Chanenchuk, and Amato is certainly doing his job here in the first quarter, facing a lot of rubber.
Yep. Yeah, and Coach Stagnita, when I was able to talk to him, he said the same thing because of injuries and different personal issues and things like that. They haven't had continuity in their lineup, and he's been a great coach in this league. He coached in Denver for a while as well. Was a great coach at Rutgers as well. And so, he knows that's a big part of his teams. If you have that continuity, you're going to be in good shape. And that's tough as a coach when you don't have it and you don't have control over it either.
Yeah, shot low, put home. Miles Jones using that big frame, just carve out some space, spin back to his left, and go low, beating Pierce Bassett to get Chesapeake on the board for the first time today.
They're able to clear the ball. It starts with the clear. Do a good job clearing the ball. Ryan Tucker draws the double. He moves it. Miles Jones sees the double coming as he's dodging to his left. Not a great angle on the double, so he comes back to his right, shoots as he's spinning, and beats Pierce Bassett low to low.
19th goal of the year for Jones, with 5 assists, 6 points back in the matchup on May 3rd in Charlotte. The Hounds again come in 6-6, tied for the 4th and final playoff spot with New York, but the Lizards own the tiebreaker because New York won the only meeting that these two teams had this year. Chesapeake, a win today, clinches a playoff spot. They come into the day a half game behind Dallas for the top spot. Now, obviously, you love to finish first, be the regular season champion. But I think if you're Chesapeake, you're thinking, well, we want to at least finish second, get that home playoff game in the semifinals.
Yeah, there's a couple different reasons you want to continue strong and win this game. Another thing is if you're able to clinch a spot now, what Coach Cottle's able to do is he's able to maybe play with the lineup the last 2 games and see some guys that haven't played and see what their value is going to be in the future as well.
Good skip pass there to Colin Heacock, but he can't put it on net. We got a minute 36 to go in the first quarter. Brandon Mangan playing in his first game this year with Chesapeake. Played 1 game with Ohio earlier this year, had 2 goals and an assist in it. Good save by Bassett, as Heacock worked pretty hard just to be able to get his hands free for that shot attempt. And Bassett making his 3rd start this year, his 5th overall appearance in goal. Coming up on a minute remaining. Oh, what an interception by Miles Jones. With his left hand reaches up and snags it out of the air. Helps when you're a tall guy as well.
Yeah, it's a big play by Jones there, and you see what probably the Bayhawks are going to do is here. They're going to probably try to drain it down. The shot clock, maybe 5 or 6 second difference between the shot clock and the game clock to get that last shot if possible. So either it's going to be 3-2 or it's going to be 3-1, not give the Charlotte Hounds an opportunity to go down the other end and score a goal before the end of the quarter.
Matt Abbott hanging on to it, 10th-year player out of Syracuse. 10 goals, 5 assists this year for the Bayhawks. Down to 20 seconds on the shot clock. Here the rain starting to pick up again as Jake Richard watches Abbott behind the goal. Out top to Jones. 8 to shoot. Jones doubled, has 5, backs out. Rain picks up even more. Shot clock down to 2. Sievert's trying to skip it. It'll be a shot clock violation, and the game clock elapses as well here in the first quarter. So The Hounds score the first 3 goals of the game, 2 by Kevin Cooper. Miles Jones able to get 1 on the board for Chesapeake. After 1 quarter of play, it's 3-1 Charlotte.
Welcome to Ellison Training, your destination for learning about the sport of lacrosse. Whether you are new to the sport or play at the highest level, Ellison Training has tips, tools, and guidance. Now here's what you can look forward to. Lax 101 for the newbies, and for you pros, there's also Lax AP. We've worked with some of the best in the business, and it was all for you. For players, for coaches, parents, honestly, anyone. There's drills, tips, how-tos for every aspect of the sport. There's even fitness and nutrition. Ellison Training is where it's at. So what are you waiting for? Wild and crazy Saturday night, and this is Lacrosse Now.
Katie Kerrigan with Ben Reeves.
Be honest, how much do you still think about that goal?
What was it like getting a chance to hoist that trophy?
This is absolute hammer time. Look at this move.
He was perfect. He was exactly what we needed on our offense.
Occupying defenders and eliminating the second slide.
Head to this cone and touch.
Get in, get out. Bang. Good.
So that's a long off season. Definitely a devastating loss. Probably the toughest loss I've ever had in my career.
To be so close, you're getting closer and closer, and then you're gonna have it pretty much ripped away from you.
It tests you.
What I took from it is we're a championship caliber team.
This is a team that had built itself, had gotten to the playoffs, had back-to-back opening round losses, get to the championship game. To me, the only goal for this machine team in 2017 was to finish it off.
And there it is! For the first time in franchise history, the Ohio Machine has won the Major League Lacrosse Championship.
You don't feel sorry for yourself.
Our underlying theme throughout the whole season was just find a way. Just find a way to make it happen.
Time to look at our Maverick player spotlight, and there's Matt Rambo for Charlotte. 26 goals, 17 assists this year, and now 18 assists with 1 earlier today. He, a lot of people thought that he wasn't going to be able to do it at the pro level, and he's been able to do it pretty well.
Yeah, they were wrong. Real simple.
And there on the other side, Colin Heacock, his former Maryland teammate, 19 goals, 11 assists this year for the Bayhawks.
And they were quite the duo at Maryland. And Colin Heacock, again, he's done a great job, in the offseason of working out, putting himself in great shape, and, leading this team in points. That's a tribute to how good of a player is, but also how hard he's worked so far.
Of course, that Run DMC line is on the field, except just Rambo and Maltz together on Charlotte, Heacock by himself on Chesapeake, but they're out there.
And that's pretty incredible that you have 3 starting attackmen from one college, starting in a pro game that played together. That doesn't happen very often just because there's so many good players out there, but that just shows you, the job that Coach Tillman has done at the University of building that program, taking over for Coach Cottle and just building upon what he did.
Now, Charlotte on their roster, not all here today, 9 different University of Maryland players. Chesapeake 8 on their roster as constructed. Of course, Dave Cottle, formerly the head coach at the University of Maryland from 2002 to 2010.
We got 2 in the booth.
And the man to my right, Bugs Combs.
Both Terps.
2001 graduate, University of Maryland. Me, a little bit younger, 2008 graduate. I didn't play, though, so I'm kind of the odd one, kind of out here.
You're still in there with us. You're a Terp.
And it's Maryland Day here at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. They're actually running the promotion of Maryland Day, which is a little weird when you're at, the campus of Navy, but it makes sense. Whistles here stopping play. A flag is down near midfield. So it appears that we'll have our first man-up situation, and Charlotte will have it.
You're going to see Crawley, and then you're going to see Garrett Epple come in and give a hit there, right on his side. It's hard to say that's an unnecessary hit because he didn't lead with his head. He didn't hit him in the head. That was just a solid hit to his body, but I think the official didn't necessarily have the best angle at it, and they're going to go to safety first with that all the time. So that's why they're going to make that call. And again, it gives an opportunity here for Charlotte up 3-1, have a big man up to make it go 4-1 if possible here.
1 minute unnecessary roughness penalty on Garrett Epple, who a player that Dave Cottle pointed out, again back on MLL Press Pass on Wednesdays, having really big impact on his team. 25 ground balls, 9 caused turnovers coming into the game today. But he will sit out for a minute after that hit. And now Charlotte trying to take advantage on the man up. And you can tell that one had some pretty good smoke on it because it hits the net. The plume of rain comes flying off the net. And it's 4-1 Charlotte, a man-up goal for the Hounds.
That's one of the cool things you get from a rain game is you get those, that hard shot, and you see what happened on this play is you see that they have to respect Mike Chanachuk out here popping out, so they have to go to him, and that leaves McAllen open. And McAllen does a good job of catching the ball, stepping down, and shooting it quickly as a Motto goes from one side of the field to the other.
So McAllen, who did not play in the last couple of games for the Hounds, scores his 13th goal of the year. 4th-year player out of Penn.
McAllen's just a solid player. He can play offense, he can play defense, he plays in the middle of the field really well. And that's what guys in the MLL, that's what you need. When you only have 19 guys dressing, you need guys that can do different things.
McAllen, a player that Jim Stagnita very familiar with, because Stagnita was an assistant at Penn, and of course, 1984 graduate of Penn. So 4-1 Charlotte after the man-up goal by McAllen. Charlotte came into the day 6th in the league in man-up percentage. Picking up their 14th goal with the advantage this year. Chesapeake trying to answer back. Sieverts dodges right, tries to go down low, looked like the Heacock.
He had Heacock there wide open on the doorstep. He just sailed the ball over top of his head. And that's when you get into sometimes of the weather elements. That happens sometimes. Even though you have a lot of technology in these sticks, sometimes, that ball's going to sail out of your stick because you're not used to it, especially when the rain goes from stop raining to raining again. And that's where you really get it because you think you have your stick set, and the rain is stopped, and then all of a sudden the rain comes back and it affects you.
It's a Charlotte offense this year, 14.25 goals scored per game this year, 4th best in the league. Mentioned Chesapeake's defense tops at 11.6 goals allowed. A lot of it, the obvious play of Nico Amato in goal, but the defense as a whole has been solid. To the end line, Maltz is there, so it's going to be Chesapeake ball.
If they're going to call that a pass, Matt Rambo was looking for Dylan Maltz on the backside. Maltz just couldn't, I don't think he saw the ball and he just couldn't handle it and goes out to the Bayhawks.
Dylan Maltz really made an impact his first couple of games with Charlotte. He scored 7 goals in the first 2 games in a Hounds uniform. Was obviously immediately paired with Matt Rambo for good reason. It worked out well. And has been in and out of the lineup a little bit as of late. This is Dane Smith seeing action today, driving towards the crease. 2nd game this year for Dane Smith.
And so far for the Bayhawks tonight, it's been much different than usually. I know they're missing some guys, but the ball has flowed really well for those guys in previous games, and I think that's one of the reasons their offense has been successful. So far tonight, it's all one-on-one, trying to beat your man and shoot. And obviously, we got a goal from Miles Jones from that. But besides that, there hasn't been a whole lot of success outside of that.
Chanachuk. And another shot fired home. This time it's Tim Rotan scoring for Charlotte. So 5-1 Hounds lead.
And Charlotte's they're taking advantage of their opportunities. They're playing well enough on the defensive end to get them to turn the ball over. They clear the ball very well every time. And you're just going to see, a great hard dodge here, by Rotans. And the key, I think, to this is what they had a pole on the field with Miles Jones on the field for the Bayhawks, and they pulled him to the side, so they made it a 5-on-5 situation. And when you do that, that takes one of the slides away, and the communication between the defense is a lot different because you're missing a guy. And you see the success from it, and you see Rotanz is able to beat Amato and, you know, go to make the 5-1 lead here. And they win a face-off, and this is what they needed.
Coming right back in there, able to score again. Quickly off the face-off in transition, Kevin Cooper, a hat trick, and Charlotte is on fire right now with a 6-1 lead.
And they didn't expect to get goals off the face-off tonight, so if they can get 1 or 2 goals off the face-off, that's really big for them. And you just see, you know, Noah Rack comes down, he finds Cooper. You know, a lot of face-off guys sometimes try to take it to the middle themselves. He finds Cooper, and Cooper gets rid of the ball quickly, beats Amato for his 3rd goal of the night. And, you know, that's pretty much what Kevin Cooper's been doing all season when he hasn't been out of the lineup.
3rd goal today for Cooper, now 17 on the season.
And this is a homecoming for him. He went to Archbishop Spalding, played at Maryland. So this is, you know, where he's from. So anytime he can come back here and be successful, I know he likes it.
So Rack and Kelly back at the X for the face-off. With 10.5 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter. And a push against Chesapeake, Charlotte ball. This is a Hounds team that came in to the day last in the league in face-off win percentage at 44.1%. And now starting to hold their own here today. Chanenchuk trying to dodge left, force back out beyond the 2-point line. Cooper lost the ball, and there goes a stick helicoptering into the air, and we have a whistle, and that will give us the timeout. With 9:38 remaining in the 2nd quarter of play, Charlotte has added 3 goals here in the 2nd quarter, and they're on top of the Bayhawks 6-1.
What's up, lacrosse fans? Have you heard? Lax Sports Network is now free. You can enjoy over 150 live games, including all of the MLL regular season and over 200 hours of original content. Check us out at laxsportsnetwork.com or download the LSN app. Available on iOS, Android, Roku, Chromecast, Amazon Fire Stick, Apple TV, and Xbox. It's all free, so what are you waiting for?
What's up, lacrosse fans? I'm Alex Fuller. Do you know an outstanding player who has recently done something so awesome on the field and you think they deserve to be put in the spotlight? You're in luck. We are now introducing LSN Spotlight. Parents, coaches, even players, if you have someone in mind, send us their name, age, who they play for, and either a picture or video to lsnspotlight@laxsportsnetwork.com for a chance to be featured. Come on, I know you all want to highlight your sick BTBs or crazy 10-goal games, or even your most creative sellies.
Time now for Cascade Under the Helmet. As we near the end of the 2018 regular season, let's take a look back at the first-round picks of these 2 teams from the draft in April. The Charlotte Hounds used the 3rd pick in the draft to select Connor Fields from Albany. In 3 games, Fields scored 4 goals, dished out a pair of assists before, unfortunately, the knee injury that had hampered him at the end of his senior year has now forced him out of the lineup here for Charlotte. With the 6th pick in the draft, Chesapeake chose Sean Mayle from the University of Denver. At a rate tonight, the long stick midfielder had played in 7 games, scoring 2 goals, including a 2-pointer. He's picked up 8 ground balls. Scott Sudakoff, Bugs Combs, back with you at rainy Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium in Annapolis, where Charlotte is all over the Bayhawks right now. 6-1. Charlotte trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. A win today would get them half game back ahead of the New York Lizards for the final playoff spot. Meanwhile, Chesapeake, a win today clinches a playoff spot. And not only that, but they're trying to, at the very least, stay in that 2nd place position, give themselves a home semifinal playoff game in a couple of weeks. So plenty on the line in this one today. The other game going on, Atlanta and Ohio, they were in a weather delay for more than an hour. I think they are just about to get underway, or just have gotten underway just outside Columbus as Miles Jones' shot is saved by Bassett. And then the rebound knocked around and deflected into the back of the net. If you're Chesapeake, you're going to take a goal any way you can right now and take that one for sure.
Yeah, you're going to take it, again, a one-on-one from Miles Jones, but Jay Carlson, that's what he did his whole high school, and then he also did that at the University of Maryland. Did a great job of just being on the crease, finding the ball after Jones. The rebound's given up by Bassett. He finds it, and he does a good job of putting in a stick, but his defenseman kind of stops at the start, and he continues the shot to score. Great job by Jay Carlson. We like to call that a garbage goal.
I was going to say, he had a really good nose for the ball there, and he was down on the turf ready for that rebound just about instantaneously. And Carlson playing in his first game this year with Chesapeake, did play in 4 games last year. So this is his 11th career game, now has 19 goals.
And again, another opportunity for him. So, we know the Bayhawks are getting a bunch of guys back. Putting himself on display for not only the Bayhawk organization, but the other teams in the league to see if they need somebody that can finish the ball.
Heacock comes out from behind. Loses the ball, though, to Schmidt, who causes the turnover. And now Charlotte to try and clear. Get it over the midfield line for Brendan Hines. And that pass across the field, knocked down by Matt Reese, playing on his former college field, as he does a lot, obviously. A member here of the Bayhawks and the former player for Navy. That one off the post and deflects all the way back out. Now Charlotte the other way. A little bit of back and forth possession here. Matt Rambo. Shannon Shuck surveying the scene. Haven't had too many long possessions in this one. Good diagonal and blocked there right at the point of the Chicalian. Actually, that shot was blocked. Vernum. But the Hounds, they stay.
Great possession. That's the key to Kevin Cooper finds him. Motto makes a great foot save, but Vernum just can't find the ball, and McCallion finds it, and inside, that's quick enough, and Vernum's just not able to pick the ball up there, and that's a big play there for McCallion to follow his shot. And as a shooter, you're taught when you shoot the ball, your shot, just like in any other sport, in basketball or other sports. You never know what's going to happen. You have the rebound, you pick it up, you throw it in an empty goal there. And they get to their 7th goal here already. And I think the big part is every time the Bayhawks have had opportunity, they score. Is Charlotte's able to come back with a good possession, and then they're able to capitalize on that good possession and score a goal to continue to have that lead.
7-2 in favor of Charlotte. The Hounds only scored 9 goals in their last game played against Dallas, which was a season low. In fact, their last 2 games have been season lows. 10 against Atlanta, and then reset the season low with 9 against against Dallas.
And I think that starts with what we've seen at the face-off X so far, in the first half, where Charlotte hasn't been good so far this season. They've made it a couple battles. The Bayhawks have had a violation, and then they've also had a push or two as well from the wings.
Good feed and a finish. Dylan Maltz from Rambo, his 2nd goal of the game. And it's now 8-2 Charlotte. So good movement away from the ball by Dylan Maltz, cutting down the middle. Rambo, quick little diagonal feed to the top of the crease.
And you see the Chesapeake defense coming together there now. It was a good job by moving off the ball. You see all 6 guys from Charlotte moving. And Vernum just has his ball back to the ball there when Dylan Maltz cuts, and it's a great pass by Rambo, putting it right on his stick. And as he comes across the goal mouth here, he catches and he finishes as quick as possible. He goes to the opposite pipe. Great handle by
What's up, lacrosse fans? Have you heard? Lax Sports Network is now free. You can enjoy over 150 live games, including all of the MLL regular season and over 200 hours of original content. Check us out at laxsportsnetwork.com or download the LSN app. Available on iOS, Android, Roku, Chromecast, Amazon Fire Stick, Apple TV, and Xbox. It's all free, so what are you waiting for?
Charlotte 10, Chesapeake 2 here in the second quarter. The 2018 Major League Lacrosse Championship game is set for Saturday, August 18th. It'll be at the MUSC Health Stadium in Charleston, South Carolina. Who will hoist the Steinfeld Cup as the 2018 MLL champions? Be there in person to find out. Face-off for the championship game is set for 7 p.m. Eastern Time. For tickets and information, go to MajorLeagueLacrosse.com today. Scott Sudakoff, Bugs Combs with you at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. Both of these teams hoping to be in South Carolina on August the 18th. Charlotte, right now, just trying to keep themselves in the playoff structure. They're tied for the 4th and final playoff spot with the Lizards at 6-6. The Lizards hold the tiebreaker, winning the head-to-head advantage. Meanwhile, Chesapeake in second place can clinch a playoff spot with a victory today. Dallas, of course, in first place. Denver in third. Those two teams play tomorrow afternoon in the Mile High City in probably the marquee matchup of the day, at least the one you would circle coming into the week.
Yeah, that should be a great game tomorrow.
Great chop down on the stick by Brett Schmidt. The turnover picks it up. And now Charlotte tries to use defense to turn it into offense again. We've seen that a couple of times.
The flag down on the play here, so the official's going to blow it because now the foul is going to be on 44 white for, a little bit extra after, Magnan gets into him and he reacts. And, Brett Schmidt's had a great game so far. He's had 2 big takeaways. So that foul is a tough foul, especially when you're winning 10-2. You have possession of the ball, and he's a veteran. He's not a rookie in this league. He's got to be a little bit smarter than that and not take that and give the Bayhawks an opportunity now, especially, with having a guy like Sieverts on man up. I mean, he can hit the 2. He's proved it in his career where he's done it a bunch of times, and you don't want to give the Bayhawks any momentum right now. And you see that they're running a guy on the field here. They have 4 guys on the field. Now they get their 5th on the field for Charlotte, and see what the Bayhawks can do on the man-up opportunity.
Chesapeake man-up this year, 41.4%, second best in the league. At one point, they were up much higher than that percentage-wise, but kind of come back down to earth. Down low and into the crease was Ryan Tucker, but denied by Pierce Bassett.
First of all, that was an unbelievable look by Miles Jones to the backside, but for Pierce Bassett to make that save and stay with Ryan Tucker as he's diving across the goal crease, that is unreal save right there.
Man up continuing for the time being for Chesapeake. Chuck hoping to run some of the clock out, lost the ball, left it behind. He's able to recover quickly, though, because he was really the first to notice that the ball was down, while his defender, Matt Abbott, wasn't sure of it. Kind of to your point as well, with these conditions, when you're the offensive player, you know where you're going. The defensive player doesn't.
You definitely have the advantage. Absolutely.
As simple as that sounds, but it's definitely true in these conditions. Chuck
He has a two-pointer. Saw it a couple of minutes ago right before our break. Rotan saved by Amato. Pair of number 13s there. Amato stopping Rotans.
And that's a great save by Amato, you know, to follow that. Rotan's had his hands free from about 13 yards, and he really let it go and changed his playing. Good shot, but Amato just was there to step up and make the save.
2:24 to go in the first half of play. Charlotte led 3-1 after one. They put 6 goals on the board, including a two-pointer here in the second quarter. Shot wide, Rambo working hard against Garrett Epple. Epple, 6'1", 210 pounds. Matt Rambo, 5'10", 210. Listed.
It's a generous 210, I think. Depends on what he ate this week.
Might be a generous 5'10" as well. That comes from me standing next to him a couple of weeks ago. You know, not 5'10". Rotan's lefty shot got his hands free by Matt Abbott. Second goal today for Rotans. 11-2 Charlotte.
And where has this Charlotte offense been all year? This is, I mean, this has been an extremely patient offense. They get a good possession out of it, and then Rotans goes and the slide is just late, and he just works himself to the middle of the field to get his left hand free, and it's only about 2 or 3 yards difference between the last shot he took where Amato was able to stop it. But I think the basis of it is their offensive possessions have been very patient. They've been able to move the ball and wear down the Bayhawks defense every time that they have it. There's no shots within the first 5 to 10 seconds of the shot clock.
As we're a minute 42 towards halftime, and Bayhawks now hoping maybe to get one back, or maybe a couple back before halftime. If you're Dave Cottle on the sideline right now, what are you thinking? What are you going to be saying to your team when you go to the locker room here?
Well, the good thing about this in this league is you can score goals quickly. And you have an offense, and you have guys like Miles Jones, and you have guys like Colin Heacock that can put the ball in the goal. So you're just telling them to settle down. Let's get one or two at a time here. Let's see if maybe we can get 2 before the half to cut it, and then kind of come out back from the half. But they got to move the ball more. The ball is dying in their stick right now.
Miles Jones draws the switch. Jumping out on him is James Barclay. Gave up the ball, though. Now Dane Smith. Smith spins through the defense and bounces it in. Dane Smith, in just his second game this year, scores his first goal. Scored 3 last year in 9 games with the Rattlers. It's a big one to get with less than a minute to go.
Yep, big one, you know, at the end of the half here. Hopefully, you know, you got Stephen Kelly here also to win the faceoff. And again, it's just another one-on-one matchup here. You know, he kind of forces the shot, but does a good job of using the ground and the wetness on the ground to get it to come up on Bassett, because they haven't been able to beat Bassett high lately. So, you know, to change the plane and get it to bounce up underneath the pipe, that's a good job with the shot. I would like to see a little bit more ball movement again from the Bayhawks offense, but you're going to take it any way you can get it right now.
Smith, 26-year-old from Kitchener, Ontario. And face-off violation against Charlotte, so Kelly and the Bayhawks have it. So now shot clock off. Bayhawks could hold it for the final shot, score, and as you had just pointed out a few moments ago, get it to 7 into halftime, when just a moment ago it was 9. That's if they score here. We'll talk to Charlotte head coach Jim Stagnita before he heads to the locker room with his Charlotte team. Has to be pretty pleased about what he's seen so far, and hoping that his defense can come up with a stop right here. Jones, double what's coming, out to Heacock. Down to 14 seconds. And that pass just kind of slipped out there for Heacock, and Jones watches it go over the sideline with 6 seconds left. Now the Hounds will try to use it. Too high for Schmidt, rolls all the way out to Amato, and Amato will fire one off in time towards Bassett. And that will do it for the first half of play. Which, again, an impressive first half with Charlotte scoring 10 goals, including a 2-pointer by Chanenchuk for this 11-3 lead. Again, if you're Jim Stagnita, you got to be pretty happy right now.
He's got to be extremely happy with the way his team's played. The face-off X has been pretty good for him as well. And, really the ball movement on their offense and their offensive possessions are the reason that they're winning this game. And then on the other end of the field, the defense has just been locked down. They've been a good job of winning their one-on-one matchups so far this half.
All right, now we are being joined by Jim Stagnita down on the field. And, Coach, we talked to you Wednesday on MLL Press Pass kind of about the inconsistency of your team and finding that rhythm you had in the early season. Well, 11 goals here in the first half today. What is clicking for your team offensively today?
I think everything Bugs just said, honestly. We're winning face-offs. I'm not so sure about those last couple. I thought we were right on the ball, but we're doing a nice job at the X. We're sharing the ball on the offensive end, a lot of assisted goals, a lot of drawing slides and moving the ball. When we play as a team, regardless of who's out there, we're successful. And you're right about the defense. They're doing a nice job of hedging, sliding, recovering. Pretty solid effort at both ends of the field for that first half. We just got to keep it going.
Coach, in the second half, what are you going to say to these guys in the locker room to get them to come out in the same way they did in the first half?
Well, look, our backs are against the wall. This is a really important game for us, and they know that. And this is our opportunity and their opportunity to help set us up for what comes next. And that there's a whole nother half left here. No lead safe at this level. You know that, Bugs.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck in the second half, and go get dry for a little bit.
Thanks, guys.
That's Charlotte head coach Jim Stagnita. His Hounds lead the Bayhawks 11-3 at halftime. We'll take a break and be back with more in a moment. You are watching Major League Lacrosse on Lax Sports Network.
Welcome to Ellison Training, your destination for learning about the sport of lacrosse. Whether you are new to the sport or play at the highest level, Ellison Training has tips, tools, and guidance. Now here's what you can look forward to. Lax 101 for the newbies, and for you pros, there's also Lax AP. We've worked with some of the best in the business, and it was all for you. For players, for coaches, parents, honestly, anyone. There's drills, tips, how-tos for every aspect of the sport. There's even fitness and nutrition. Ellison Training is where it's at. So what are you waiting for?
What's up, lacrosse fans? I'm Alex Fuller. Do you know an outstanding player who has recently done something so awesome on the field and you think they deserve to be put in the spotlight? You're in luck. We are now introducing LSN Spotlight. Parents, coaches, even players, if you have someone in mind, send us their name, age, who they play for, and either a picture or video to lsnspotlight@laxsportsnetwork.com for a chance to be featured. Come on, I know you all want to highlight your sick BTBs or crazy 10-goal games, or even your most creative sellies.
Wild and crazy Saturday night, and this is Lacrosse Now.
Katie Kerrigan with Ben Reeves.
Be honest, how much do you still think about that goal?
What was it like getting a chance to hoist that trophy?
This is absolute hammer time. Look at this move.
He was perfect. He's exactly what we needed on our offense.
Occupying defenders and eliminating the second slide.
Head to this cone and touch.
Get in, get out. Bang. Good.
Now, Nico Amato, only 4 saves so far for Chesapeake, and we had talked about at the top of the broadcast, well, that he's maybe a front runner for goalie of the year. I mean, I would say a lot of it's not really his play. It's more so maybe the defense missing assignments against the Charlotte offense.
I would agree with that, and I'm not sure if that number's right. I mean, I feel like he's had more than 4 saves so far in the game.
Yeah.
You know, and the saves he's had have been big one-on-one saves as well. So I think that's also been a key. Is, you know, you notice the saves he's had to bail his defense out a couple times. You know, and the now from the Hounds has just been really good. They've been moving the ball, and they've been putting him in positions where it's hard to make that save.
So again, at halftime, it is Charlotte 11 and Chesapeake 3. You're watching Major League Lacrosse on Lax Sports Network.
What's up, lacrosse fans? Have you heard? Lax Sports Network is now free. You can enjoy over 150 live games, including all of the MLL regular season and over 200 hours of original content. Check us out at laxsportsnetwork.com or download the LSN app. Available on iOS, Android, Roku, Chromecast, Amazon Fire Stick, Apple TV, and Xbox. It's all free, so what are you waiting for?
Welcome to Ellison Training, your destination for learning about the sport of lacrosse. Whether you are new to the sport or play at the highest level, Ellison Training has tips, tools, and guidance. Now here's what you can look forward to. Lax 101 for the newbies, and for you pros, there's also Lax AP. We've worked with some of the best in the business, and it was all for you. For players, for coaches, parents, honestly, anyone. There's drills, tips, how-tos for every aspect of the sport. There's even fitness and nutrition. Ellison Training is where it's at. So what are you waiting for?
What's up, lacrosse fans? I'm Alex Fuller. Do you know an outstanding player who has recently done something so awesome on the field and you think they deserve to be put in the spotlight? You're in luck. We are now introducing LSN Spotlight. Parents, coaches, even players, if you have someone in mind, send us their name, age, who they play for, and either a picture or video to lsnspotlight@laxsportsnetwork.com for a chance to be featured. Come on, I know you all want to highlight your sick BTBs or crazy 10-goal games, or even your most creative sellies.
Major League Lacrosse Championship.
Don't feel sorry for yourselves.
Our underlying theme throughout the whole season was just find a way. Just find a way to make it happen.
Welcome back to Annapolis, where Charlotte leads Chesapeake 11-3 at halftime. Scott Sudakoff and Bugs Combs here with you. And, well, plenty of goals in the first half for Charlotte. As we look back at the highlights from the first half of play, and it was Kevin Cooper who got the scoring going for Charlotte. And he ended up having a hat trick in the first quarter of play.
Yeah, and you see, he scored in a lot of different ways. You saw him score on a one-on-one, and you saw, just different ways. You see Dylan Maltz, he's able to pick the pass off here from Amato and throw it in the goal, which is a big goal there, kind of a trash goal. And then you're just seeing different ways for the Hounds to score today. They score in transition. Here's a goal right here from Rambo to Cooper in transition. And that just breaks your back as a defense when those things happen. And then they're able to dodge and beat their man, find their guy, and move the ball. That's 2 great passes there before McCallion gets a shot off. And what that does, it makes Nico Amato move from one side of the goal to the other. And then again, Tim Rotance is here, able to beat his man on the dodge, left-handed, tough shot. And just different ways of scoring the whole way. You see a huge goal here. Face-offs have been a key for Charlotte the whole game so far. And to get a goal from Cooper off the face-off, that's a backbreaker for the Bayhawks because that's not what they expected to happen to them tonight. And again, just ball movement, you find the guy. And McCallion here is going to have the first shot saved, but he's going to follow a shot and have a second effort to score that goal.
We'll see another one here from Dylan Maltz off another feed by Matt Rambo, who had 3 assists in the first half. And Michael Chanenchuk was able to put home a 2-point goal here. See it off the feed from Rambo, and the scoring finished for Charlotte with another one from Tim Rotans, again, where the slide defensively a little bit slow.
No, and again, good job by Charlotte moving to find the open guy and not let his guy slide. And you see a little bit different. The offense is much different from the Bayhawks here. You're going to see their shots are mainly one-on-one goals, all three of their goals except for the Carlson goal, which was kind of here you're going to see it was a trash goal, but it's based off of a one-on-one move from Jones. Good shot from Jones. Bassett makes a save, and then Carlson just fights through it and puts the ball in the back of the goal. And then the last one here is Dane Smith. Does a good job using the ground here to beat Pierce Bassett because they've had trouble beating him.
That was the final goal of the first half of play. And again, at halftime, it is Charlotte 11 and Chesapeake 3. The team's back out on the field, warming up in the rain. We'll take one final break here at halftime. We'll be back with more in a moment here from Annapolis on Lax Sports Network.
What's up, lacrosse fans? Have you heard? Lax Sports Network is now free. You can enjoy over 150 live games, including all of the MLL regular season and over 200 hours of original content. Check us out at laxsportsnetwork.com or download the LSN app. Available on iOS, Android, Roku, Chromecast, Amazon Fire Stick, Apple TV, and Xbox. It's all free, so what are you waiting for?
What's up, lacrosse fans? I'm Alex Fuller. Do you know an outstanding player who has recently done something so awesome on the field and you think they deserve to be put in the spotlight? You're in luck. We are now introducing LSN Spotlight. Parents, coaches, even players, if you have someone in mind, send us their name, age, who they play for, and either a picture or video to lsnspotlight@laxsportsnetwork.com for a chance to be featured. Come on, I know you all want to highlight your sick BTBs or crazy 10-goal games, or even your most creative sellies.
Welcome to Ellison Training, your destination for learning about the sport of lacrosse. Whether you are new to the sport or play at the highest level, Ellison Training has tips, tools, and guidance. Now here's what you can look forward to. Lax 101 for the newbies, and for you pros, there's also Lax AP. We've worked with some of the best in the business, and it was all for you. For players, for coaches, parents, honestly, anyone. There's drills, tips, how-tos for every aspect of the sport. There's even fitness and nutrition. Ellison Training is where it's at. So what are you waiting for? Wild and crazy Saturday night, and this is Lacrosse Now.
Katie Kerrigan with Ben Reeves.
Be honest, how much do you still think about that goal?
What was it like getting a chance to hoist that trophy?
This is absolute hammer time. Look at this move.
He was perfect. He's exactly what we needed on our offense.
Occupying defenders and eliminating the second slide.
Head to this cone and touch.
Get in, get out. Bang. Good.
(11-3) Charlotte at halftime, getting ready for the third quarter of play. But hey, Bugs, were you awake at 5 a.m. Eastern time this morning to see the end of the USA-Canada game? I mean, I wasn't actually awake to see it live. A couple hours later, I watched it on the DVR. But pretty fun ending to that game. Maybe some controversy. Tom Schreiber scoring the game-winning goal for Team USA off a feed from Rob Pennell from behind the goal, and able to win the gold medal for Team USA. Here we go. Here's a look at it.
And it's definitely probably two reasons why these two guys are probably two of the best players in the world right now. You know, Rob Pennell with his hands free, great pass, you know, puts it on Schreiber's stick. Schreiber's able to catch the ball and finish within one motion before Dylan Ward's able to find it and track the ball. And you just for the, you know, get the revenge they did from 4 years ago of losing out in Denver and winning, and it was a great lacrosse game to watch. And yeah, there was absolutely some controversy in it with the offside call from Canada, but you know, another great game. And You know, 4 more years, you'll see the same thing, I would imagine. And I think just the whole World Games with all the different guys playing was really good, and all the different organizations and nations playing. And it just seemed like it was, you know, very good for the sport of lacrosse.
So getting ready for the third quarter here. 11-3 Charlotte leading the Bayhawks. Charlotte, just a win here would get them back in sole possession of 4th place, put them a half game ahead of New York. They do not have the tiebreaker. New York has the tiebreaker due to a head-to-head win, so they can't finish in a tie with the Lizards or they're not going to get that playoff spot. So today and next Saturday at Boston wraps up their season. They don't play the final weekend of the season, so they might have to sit back that final Saturday and watch games be played, and nothing that they can do except, you know, win today and win next week and hope it falls in their way. Sievert's first shot of the second half off the side of the net. Pierce Bassett able to get to the backside and pick it up in the crease. And Bassett knocked down on the ride by Heacock. Also in there was Jake Carlson.
Athletic move by Bassett there, you know, to get out of traffic and get that. But again, first possession we see from the Bayhawks is a one-on-one dodge from Sieverts and a shot. You know, goes back to the same offense they were playing with in the first half that wasn't as successful. You know, and I think you'll see a different offense here from Charlotte. They've done a good job of moving the ball, finding the open guy, and working hard off the ball to create mismatches.
Yeah, what do you think Chesapeake needs to do here defensively to slow down this offense?
I think you got to win your one-on-one matchup so your defenseman, your teammate doesn't have to slide, number one, and then you got to be, you know, have your head on a swivel off ball and not allow guys to be open in the crease. And you get second opportunities. Again, we've seen the Bayhawks, they're having trouble clearing the ball as well, and that's giving Charlotte second opportunities, which is a killer.
Rambo got rid of it, got knocked down. Pass in front wide, goes by Amato, but he's helped out by Matt Reese behind the goal. And now Chesapeake hoping to get a clean clear. Lowering the shoulder like a running back, Mark Glissini going 1-on-2 and eventually loses the battle to Cooper and the Hounds.
And great effort by the Hounds on the attack, that both attackmen get up to the midfield line to ride that and, you know, create the turnover and then still work hard when the ball was on the other side of the field to pick it up and have another possession.
Shannon Chuck down the left alley, pulls up a GLE and moves it down near the end line. Dylan Maltz shoots, and I don't think Amato got a piece of that. I think that went wide of the goal.
And if you're a D-midi and you're gonna clear the ball and you're gonna try to run attackman over, you better be sure you can run them over and still handle the ball.
Being on this field, the home of Navy football, and of course their running attack, maybe he kind of felt that mojo for a moment. Amato coming out from the crease and he pays for it. Matt Rambo, Terp on Terp crime. Although you could say that at almost any point right now in this game. Here's Miles Jones. He's a Blue Devil though, from Duke. A couple of those floating around on the field as well. Dane Smith, who had the goal before halftime for Chesapeake to get them back to 11-3 before halftime. Now Matt Abbott dodging from the right, shoots low, save Bassett, holding the fort there against the post. So Pierce Bassett making just his 3rd start this year, holding his own.
Does a great job holding the pipe there and not letting it slide in there. You know, Matt Abbott, again, you saw same thing we just saw before in the possession before. Sievert's one-on-one shot, Matt Abbott one-on-one shot. They're not making the defense move or make Pierce Bassett move from side to side, where on the opposite end, that's what we're seeing from Charlotte, is they're making Amato move and making the defense from the Bayhawks move and, you know, kind of open some things up for him by doing that. And I think the Bayhawks really are missing Matt Danowski tonight. You know, not only as just the player, but as the leader of this team, the leader of the offense.
And the Hounds up by 9. Once again, Adam Osika
who hasn't had a point in the last 5 games he's played. Able to score here his 6th goal of the season. 12-3 Charlotte. Going to look at it as he had a battle with Miles Jones.
You know, he's taking the matchup of going against the offensive midfielder of Miles Jones, and the defense doesn't support it right away, and it allows him to beat Miles Jones topside, gets his hands free, and then just sneaks it in on the pipe. But that's because the defense wasn't ready. You got to know if you have an offensive midi on the field, you got to slide to him earlier and support him a little bit earlier than that. And, you know, again, you know, a guy that comes in and hasn't had a point in 5 games comes and contributes, and that's exactly what Charlotte needed tonight. And that's what we said from the beginning of the game. That's the team that's going to win, is the guys, you know, that maybe the unsung heroes or the guys that haven't been doing a lot, they come in and they make a play or two, and it just lifts the rest of the team up as well. And, you know, as a team, when you have a guy who hasn't done that, man, you get fired up as a team, and you know, you've got guys supporting you and guys jumping around and happy for you.
So Chesapeake on offense after the face-off, trailing by 9. And again, you had mentioned it to me in a break that Chesapeake's just missing that third attackman on this roster right now for this game, and it's been showing with just 3 goals through 2 quarters and 5 minutes.
Yeah, and they'll get, you know, they get some guys back from the world teams, you know, even a guy you don't even think a whole lot about, Nate Loons, man, he comes in and he's successful, and he's not necessarily a big name for the Bayhawks, but you're missing him this week, and when he's played in the lineup, he's done really well except for 1 game. So they're missing guys, and they're missing, you know, Danowski and Byrne are probably the 2 biggest guys on the offense end right now that they're missing, and those guys showed in the World Games how good they were.
And Nate Loon is playing for the English national team. They ended up finishing in 5th place, I think it was. They were trailing the Japanese team like 7-1, 8-1 in that one, and they came back and they ended up winning to finish in 5th place in the World Games. Good to see some nations in their first appearances doing well. Puerto Rico finished 8th in their first time as low to high. Dylan Maltz then pays the price afterwards, but count it. And it's now a 10-goal Charlotte lead, a hat trick from Maltz.
And that's a rocket from Maltz there. And as you're moving the ball here, the same offense that they've had, they move the ball. Chanachuk moves the ball, finds him, and he lets it go right as the guy's coming at him, top shelf, and takes the hit and scores.
What's up, lacrosse fans? Have you heard? Lax Sports Network is now free. You can enjoy over 150 live games, including all of the MLL regular season and over 200 hours of original content. Check us out at laxsportsnetwork.com or download the LSN app. Available on iOS, Android, Roku, Chromecast, Amazon Fire Stick, Apple TV, and Xbox. It's all free, so what are you waiting for?
Welcome to Ellison Training, your destination for learning about the sport of lacrosse. Whether you are new to the sport or play at the highest level, Ellison Training has tips, tools, and guidance. Now here's what you can look forward to. Lax 101 for the newbies, and for you pros, there's also Lax AP. We've worked with some of the best in the business, and it was all for you. For players, for coaches, parents, honestly, anyone. There's drills, tips, how-tos for every aspect of the sport. There's even fitness and nutrition. Ellison Training is where it's at. So what are you waiting for? Wild and crazy Saturday night, and this is Lacrosse Now.
Katie Kerrigan with Ben Reeves.
Be honest, how much do you still think about that goal?
What was it like getting a chance to hoist that trophy?
This is absolute hammer time. Look at this move.
He was perfect. He was exactly what we needed on our offense.
Occupying defenders and eliminating the second slide.
Head to this cone and touch.
Get in, get out. Bang. Good.
To take on the Denver Outlaws, who, of course, are also in the middle of the playoff race heading into the final 3 weeks of the regular season. Dallas at Denver in the MLL Game of the Week on ESPN+. Dallas 9-2. They have been, right now, the best team from start to finish so far in the league. Denver is on a 6-game winning streak. They were 1-4 and now 7-4. Miles Jones, a shot saved by Bassett. Now, when we were going to timeout there, Matt Rambo was called for a 1-minute unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, maybe celebrating a little too much.
It looks like he maybe jawing and chirping it up a little bit, but I mean that's a tough call in this league. You make that. I mean, after a guy scores and it's nothing physical, so that's why the Bayhawks started with the ball man up. There was no face-off, but again, great save by Pierce Bassett to stop it, and then they had an interference call on the Bayhawks, so it'll be their ball at midfield here to start. The Hounds are still down a man here, so we'll see if they double the ball, or they're going to make them go back to where the foul had happened, and they're going to have to clear the ball, but the Bayhawks are still up a guy.
Dylan Maltz had the goal before the timeout, so both he and Kevin Cooper had scored a hat trick. I think the Maltz goal we just saw could be maybe a front runner for our Powerade power through play of the game. We'll have a little bit later on, but I think that third Maltz goal we just saw a few moments ago, because the hit he took afterwards, it's kind of the definition of powering through.
You did. I thought the penalty was going to be for the hit. I didn't think there was going to be a foul on Rambo. I think the officials missed one there.
Bounced in, Amato goes after the rebound and gets it. Now, that might be what Rambo maybe was. Maybe Rambo said something to the official about that. We did not catch exactly what happened.
You can't say anything to the official. Can't do that.
Time has elapsed, though, on the penalties, so we're back to even strength. And the Bayhawks right now reeling, down by 10. 7 minutes gone by in the third quarter. Now, again, for Chesapeake, a loss today, and it's not like the sky is falling, although it kind of is with all this rain, but 7-game winning streak coming in. They'll still be in a really good position at 8-3, but if Denver comes away with a win tomorrow, they'd be 8-4, and now they're knocking on the door of that home spot in the playoffs.
And that'll make next weekend's game against Denver a huge one for the Bayhawks.
Right.
I mean, that might be you're playing for home field advantage in the playoffs.
Now, it's a busy week, though. Chesapeake will play Thursday first, though. They'll play Thursday at Atlanta before Denver is here next Saturday. And that's an Atlanta team that came into today 4-6, one game back at the playoff spot, even in the loss column, but one game back officially, and they're playing Ohio right now. Try to glance at a score here.
And so you figure you get your guy, everybody probably comes back to start getting back tomorrow or Monday, and then you're gonna have a quick turnaround for these guys that are playing, and then into that game, and that's gonna be a tough Thursday night down in Atlanta for both teams that have quick turnarounds.
Atlanta has a 6-3 lead on Ohio at Fortress Obetz right now.
And I think, especially for Ohio, I think the Schreiber injury really hurt Ohio this year, and him not being able to play because he's such a good player, that really hurt those guys early in the season.
Rotans against Abbott. Now Rambo, a little screen set by Rotans, freed up Rambo momentarily. Cooper curling around, looking for a fourth goal. Couldn't get it on Cage. Quick restart, passes too high, and this will go over and back. Chesapeake will have it.
You're going to see a delay a game here. Calling Brett Schmidt, kicking the ball up. Instead of just letting the ball stay there and letting the Bayhawks pick it up, he kicked it up. And if you're doing that and the referee's right in front of Coach Cottle, Coach Cottle's going to get that call every time. He's going to be in the ear of the official, and he's going to get that call. And, that's twice that. It's not really plays that you're usually going to see from Brett Schmidt. You saw the slash down here on the clear, and then the delay of game here. That's just not him. He's a much smarter lacrosse player, and you don't see those mistakes from him. Non-disciplined mistakes like that from him.
A couple of penalties here against Charlotte where you don't want to give Chesapeake any type of life, or maybe they get a couple of goals in a row, started off with a man-up goal, and start to string things together. Abbott, good pass across the crease. Ends up in the back of the net, scored by Jeremy Sieverts. His second goal since returning to the Bayhawks. Of course, he started his career with the Bayhawks back in 2010 before all of his time with Denver.
Yeah, and Sieverts, known as an outside shooter, does a really good job of cutting to the back pipe here once the ball moves to the other side. And Abbott does a good job having his eyes up, finding them. But I really like what Sieverts does here is he comes in, he moves his feet and finds the lane, and he's right there. He's able to catch it and finish it very quickly before that backside defenseman. Looks like Manning could get down and check him. But, you know, good look by Abbott, and then Sieverts just finishing the ball when he gets his opportunity. Like I said before, he's usually a two-point shooter, more of an outside guy, but did a great job, you know, cutting to the backside. When in 2010, you know, when he was with the Bayhawks, that's when we won the championship, and I was part of that team. And he was a guy that didn't play a lot, but, you know, I remember playing a game against Chicago Machine here one night, and he shot the ball so hard, I swear it lifted the goal off the ground. And it was a 2-point goal, and you could just see from that point on that he was going to have a really good career in this league.
He's playing in his 102nd career game, and that was his 164th career goal. 31 two-pointers in his career.
And anytime you can get over 150 goals in this league, that's impressive.
Shannon Chuck slings one near cage. Back up by Maltz. The first Bayhawk goal of the second half. It was 3-1 after one Charlotte, then 11-3 at halftime. And that goes out, and Chesapeake ball, but first we will get a timeout. With 4:52 remaining in the third quarter, the Bayhawks trying to make the slow march back into this one. The Hounds lead by 9 here on Lax Sports Network.
For over 30 years, Cascade has been the most trusted helmet in lacrosse. Introducing the Cascade S. The pinnacle of protection, comfort, and vision. Cascade, passion to protect.
In 2015, New York sat atop the lacrosse world. 2016 was the year of the Outlaws. And 2017 saw a takeover by the Machine. Who will get their hands on the Seinfeld Trophy in 2018? Find out on August 18th when the new MLL champion is crowned in Charleston, South Carolina. Tickets are on sale now at MajorLeagueLacrosse.com.
Joe Walters is predictable. He's easy to guard. Jordan Wolf won't pan out. He's a one-trick pony. Joey Sankey's too small. Joey Sankey won't make it at the next level.
(13-4) Charlotte leads Chesapeake. Of course, the World Games wrapped up earlier today with Team USA winning the gold medal. Here's the players for Charlotte, players on Team USA and Team Canada. So they get a pretty good infusion of talent back in a couple of days.
They do, and like I said, Ryan Brown, you know, the way he shot the ball and the way Earhart played defense, and those guys are really great players.
And then Chesapeake with players on 5 different teams.
And that's a group right there that's going to come in, and a lot of those guys are going to come right back and help this team. You know, and Lyle Thompson hasn't played this year.
That's the intriguing name that's on that list, really, right?
And you saw how successful they were even without him, and you throw him in that lineup. You know, it's a pretty dangerous lineup on a couple different fronts, and as well as, you know, you got to figure out, all right, well, who's not going to play if he comes back, because everybody's playing pretty good on that offense so far when they're here.
If you're just joining us, it's been raining all day in Annapolis, continuing here. They had to squeegee the field before we got started today. Bassett continues to play a strong game between the pipes for Charlotte in place of Charlie Cipriano today. Charlotte jumped out to a 3-0 lead before the Bayhawks got on the board in the first quarter. It was 3-1 after one, and the Hounds just poured it on in the second quarter. Took an 11-3 lead into halftime. Dylan Maltz, Kevin Cooper, both with hat tricks in this game. Matt Rambo doesn't have a goal, but I think he's got 4 assists now. Check on that right now, but he's doing it in a feeder role today. Three assists for Rambo. Rotans, goal number 4 for Tim Rotans. No, excuse me, John Crawley, his first goal. Give him his first.
And same type of situation happened on the previous goal. You know, the two goals ago for the Bayhawks is they get caught. First of all, Miles Jones takes not a great shot again down the other end. He gets called on defense, but they don't support him and they don't go early and slide early to him. And Crawley beats him and gets to the front of the goal and just beats it between Amato's legs. And the slide you can see is late to get there. And I think again that's where they're missing Bernhardt. You know, to be the kind of cog of that defense and leader of that defense down that end. But you got to go to Miles Jones early, especially if he's behind the goal. But it starts again with that one-on-one offense down the other end for the Bayhawks, a bad shot, and Pierce Bassett makes the save, and they get the ball up down the other end and score. And, you know, one of the other things that we haven't seen from the Bayhawks yet tonight is we haven't seen back-to-back goals. You know, they haven't scored a goal and scored again.
Now Charlotte in transition after the face-off win, get another one. This time it's Matthew Pratt playing in his first game for Charlotte out of Syracuse University. And everybody for the Hounds is jumping in on the party right now, leading 15-4.
You know, right off the face-off, picks the ball up, and he goes right to the cage. They try to challenge him, knowing it's his first game, and he just goes right to the goal. Nobody picks him up, so he shoots the ball, beats him high to low, and the cool thing about this is you see Matt Rambo grab the ball, pick it up, and give it to him for his first career goal, and that's a great teammate.
You know that he's a new guy on the team because he doesn't have his name on the back of his uniform. Everyone else, for the most part, does. And he's...
And, you know, a lot of guys in this league have not had a name on their jersey every once in a while. You get traded, you know, sometimes you don't have it. You wear the blood jersey
sometimes. Sounds like you had experience with that.
Yeah, I've done it a couple times myself, you know, but it feels good getting that first career goal for him, you know, and that's just a great hustle play. He does the right thing. The defense doesn't come to him, and he puts the ball in the back of the net when he gets his opportunity.
Isaiah Davis-Allen able to get to the ground ball on the face-off there. He's been a really good player for Chesapeake this year. Sometimes maybe that position doesn't get as much attention, short stick D-midi, but he's been one of the best in the league. Up near 50 ground balls this season.
Yeah, and they have between Matt Abbott, between him and Nick Manis, they have three really good short stick D-middies. Now, Matt Abbott's moved more to the two-way type of guy, but he started off as a D-midi, and, you know, they're very strong in that position.
And that one is scored. It through drops. I believe that was Heacock. Raining as hard as it has been during the game today, 15-5, and that's not going to help Chesapeake's comeback efforts with this type of weather.
Heacock's over to, you know, go through the pick here, he uses it, and he just overpowers his defenseman and gets in the defenseman's hands so the defenseman is not able to use his stick against him, and then just shoots it, and on the run comes back to the opposite side of where he was and beats Pierce Bassett offside to the hip shoulder area. And, you know, good job by Colin Heacock getting on the board there and letting that go. You know, he's had a tremendous year for the Bayhawks, you know, and I think he's really, you know, benefited from having Josh Byrne on the team and having Matt Danowski on the team and taking some of the pressure off of him where, you know, he's not necessarily having a #1 defenseman on him, but he's taking his opportunities and doing a great job of cashing in on him, and that's another one right there. And, you know, getting his, you know, his goal, that's a big goal for the Bayhawks, even if it's, you know, still a big lead, you know, get some momentum. You know, and again, you see Charlotte here take the momentum away from it, but winning the face-off.
And they get it right back. This time it is, in fact, Tim Rotan scoring the hat trick. So after Colin Heacock was able to record his first point of the game on a goal, Tim Rotans comes back, scores his third, and the Hounds right back up by 11, 16-5.
And not sure if this is a defensive philosophy for the Bayhawks tonight, or this is just, you know, miscommunication. But again, they have their short stick. Their short stick's getting rammed by here. He's beat, and nobody goes. And then he's able, you know, from about 12 yards in the middle of the field to get a shot off, you know, and beats Amato high to low. And looks like he got it right in that bottom stick side corner. You know, a good shot. And that, again, that's his third goal tonight. And, you know, 7th on the season. And Rotans is having a good night. But everybody on the Charlotte offense is pretty much having a good night. You know, it's very well spread out, and everybody's doing their job.
Back-to-back face-off wins. Kevin Massa with it. Charlotte has won 8 face-offs. Chesapeake 12 in the game. Less than 2 minutes to play in the third quarter, and the Hounds have added 5 more goals to their total here in the third. They were up by 8 at halftime, now by 11, looking for a 12-goal lead, and they got it on a bounce shot by Kevin Massa, who never gave the ball up after winning the faceoff, and he scores his first career goal in Major League Lacrosse, I believe. Looking back last year, don't have him listed as a goal. 2 years ago, no goals scored, and no goals this year. So,
yep, you can see Dylan Maltz grab the ball from the official.
Good eye, good eye.
And he gets it, and that's definitely his first goal. You know, he has an opportunity to dodge another face-off guy here. There's not really anybody open because they're pressing out, and they want him to handle the ball, but there's no support on the back end from the Bayhawks defense, and you know, he just kind of tricks it in there a little bit, you know, like uses the ground and just gets it to the offside. And, you know, they got 2 goals off the faceoff, and that's been a point where they haven't been very good this year, and you get a goal and a faceoff, and that's got to make you happy. I mean, Coach Sagnita's got to be really happy about that. And, you know, both these guys know Jake Withers is coming back, so
they're playing for playing time.
They're playing for their jobs, right? You know, and you want to make sure that you're on that dress roster the next week.
Kevin Massa, his first career goal. So a couple of Hounds have done that today. Although Massa is in his 4th year in the league, but, you know, it was more so of that true face-off specialist, gets off the field after giving up the ball, but not today.
That's
not
still
this time.
amazing that you play 4 years in this. I mean,
right,
you figure a guy's going to get 1 or 2 there, but the first one in 4 years, that's, man, you got to feel good about that, though.
Bayhawks get one back down low, buried by Matt Abbott. His 11th of the season. Now 17-6. And Charlotte, though, one of their best offensive outputs of the season. And this is really after struggling for really the last month plus.
Much better offense here. You see Sievert set the pick. You see Dane Smith going hard with his head up. He finds Abbott. Abbott's moving off the ball to the backside, catches and shoots it. Kind of, you know, as he's catching it with his back to the goal, turns and releases the ball in the same motion and is able to beat Pierce Bassett there. And, you know, that's kind of the offense that the Bayhawks need to have some more successes, you know, moving the ball after the initial dodge and finding the open guy.
Charlotte did have a 25-goal performance, first game of the season against Boston. Since then, they did have a 19-goal game against Atlanta, with 17 up on the board today.
She got 17 without Crowley and without Ryan Brown. That's impressive.
Yeah, your leading goal scorer, Ryan Brown, who I don't have the number now in front of me. I took it off my chart for the week. I'll re-enter it in back next week, but I'll see the Hounds in Boston against the Cannons. But he made up. He certainly kind of made up for it. Team USA. He scored 24, 25 goals in what, 7 games?
And he probably had the ball on his stick for maybe a total of 3 minutes total.
Maybe not even.
He doesn't need the ball on his stick to score. And, you know, there's 6 guys in 1 ball, so you need those guys out on the field.
The horn sounds, and that'll do it for 3 quarters of play here at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. It continues to be all Charlotte. They push their 8-goal halftime lead out to 11 as we make the turn for home here. It's Charlotte 17, Chesapeake 6. You're watching Major League Lacrosse on Lax Sports Network.
Wild and crazy Saturday night, and this is Lacrosse Now.
Katie Kerrigan with Ben Reeves.
Be honest, how much do you still think about that goal?
What was it like getting a chance to hoist that trophy?
This is absolute hammer time. Look at this move.
He was perfect. He's exactly what we needed on our offense.
Occupying defenders and eliminating the second slide.
Head to this cone and touch.
Get in, get out. Bang. Good.
What's up, lacrosse fans? I'm Alex Fuller. Do you know an outstanding player who has recently done something so awesome on the field and you think they deserve to be put in the spotlight? You're in luck. We are now introducing LSN Spotlight. Parents, coaches, even players, if you have someone in mind, send us their name, age, who they play for, and either a picture or video to lsnspotlight@laxsportsnetwork.com for a chance to be featured. Come on, I know you all want to highlight your sick BTBs or crazy 10-goal games, or even your most creative sellies.
Welcome to Ellison Training, your destination for learning about the sport of lacrosse. Whether you are new to the sport or play at the highest level, Ellison Training has tips, tools, and guidance Now here's what you can look forward to. Lax 101 for the newbies, and for you pros, there's also Lax AP. We've worked with some of the best in the business, and it was all for you. For players, for coaches, parents, honestly, anyone. There's drills, tips, how-tos for every aspect of the sport. There's even fitness and nutrition. Ellison Training is where it's at. So what are you waiting for?
(17-6) Charlotte lead as we get set to begin the fourth quarter. Before that, though, let's check out our Powerade Power Through play of the game. And it comes from the fifth-year player out of Maryland, Michael Chesapeake, a two-pointer.
Yep, you're going to see Chesapeake just releasing it. He does a great job using the defenseman as a screen from the pass from Rambo. And he steps into it, Constable's in the way, Amato just can't really see it, he gets it on Cage, but the key to that is releasing the ball quickly as Amato's turning and using Constable as the screen.
So getting ready for the face-off, fourth quarter. And Chesapeake with a rather large hill to climb right now. Looking at some of the numbers through three quarters, face-offs, Charlotte has closed the gap. Chesapeake has won 13, Charlotte 11. Nico Amato in goal. Has faced 22 shots on goal. Charlotte overall has attempted 42 shots. And Amato has 6 saves. On the other side, Pierce Bassett has made 9 saves. While Chesapeake has attempted 25 shots. And into goal right now, as you can see for Chesapeake, is Brian Phipps. So Phipps, playing in his 4th game this season, hasn't seen a lot of action recently with the way that Amato has been able to play.
And I think, you know, Coach Cottle is making that change, realize, you know, not that it's necessarily Amato's fault that all the goals went in, but he's played really well all season. Get him out of there. And, you know, that's a really tough save right there for Brian Phipps. He's got to come in the game after sitting in the rain for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and does a great job coming in and making that save. That's not easy as a goalie, but as a goalie in this league, you always have to be ready. And Brian Phipps, you know, has proved how good of a goalie he has been in the past in this league. And, you know, to have him as a backup, that's a really big thing. You know, in case something would happen to Amato, they're really comfortable having Phipps as the backup.
Each team has a man-up goal today. Chesapeake 1 for 3, Charlotte 1 for 1. And the Hounds have 3 different players with hat tricks. Rotans, Maltz, and Cooper. Matt Rambo is checked in with a hat trick of assists with 3. Shot clock winds all the way down and runs out. Shot clock violation on the Bayhawks. Played the first 2 minutes of this fourth quarter. They have got single goals in this game from Heacock, Abbott, Sieverts, Jones, and Carlson and Smith. The Hounds finish off their regular season on the road next Saturday at Boston.
And if you're Charlotte, you got to feel pretty confident about going into that Boston game of the way you played this week and kind of where Boston is this year, and also of who you get back from the World Games and, you know, how those guys played in the World Games. You know, just out of the top three with Crowley, Earhart, and Ryan Brown added to this lineup, I mean, that's a pretty dangerous team. And, you know, to go into Boston knowing that if you take care of what you need to do, sit around and wait the last week and it might work out for you.
Right. And the thing that I think is scary for Charlotte, though, as we've talked about, is they don't have the tiebreaker with the Lizards. Penalty coming on Chesapeake as the shot clock expires here, but Charlotte will get the ball back and a man up, and tempers
maybe flaring a little bit down there. But the Lizards beat Charlotte in their head-to-head matchup. So even if the Hounds win today and next week finish 8-6, Lizards can do the same, and they would get the head-to-head tiebreaker.
And it'll be interesting to see, with the Lizards this year, this week coming up is, does Paul Rabel play? He had a little bit of an injury in the World Games that we saw from him. I think it was a hamstring injury. He was able to fight through it, but I think it definitely affected him, in the last couple games of the World Games. So you see if he's able to work back from that and get healthy, because they definitely need him, in order for that. But they, the guy that's been, on fire for those guys lately is Will Manny, and he's had, he's been
an understatement, isn't it?
He's been really good, and I thought that personally, that maybe the World team maybe have made a little bit of mistake not taking him. Obviously, when you win it, you don't make any mistakes, but I thought that was the one spot and the one guy that might have been left off the list that should have been on the list.
Well, I think maybe part of the problem is that there are too many players who are worthy that you do in the end have to. Chanenchuk. I think he may have stepped on the line there. Either way, fires one home. It's on the board as just a one-pointer.
And that's a rocket from Chanenchuk. The pass comes from Cooper from behind. It's set up by good ball movement on the man-up situation and the man-up opportunity. They move the ball, and then Cooper does a great job of bringing the defense to him, finding Chanenchuk. He steps in, and he just rips the ball. And that's what Chanenchuk does. He has a shot from the outside, and it's going to be hard to make that stop, especially from Brian Phipps, who he has to, turn from making the pass to try and knock the pass down, and then letting Chanenchuk have his hands free from 15 to 17 yards and ripping it.
By the way, talking about the Lizards, their final two games, though, they play Dallas and then this Chesapeake team again that beat them just a couple of weeks ago, 16-13. So it's certainly not going to be easy for the Lizards just to go 8-6.
No, and that was that July 2nd game. That was a good game. So I would expect that last game of the year is going to be, I believe correctly, I think it's up in New York.
Yes, so August 4th at the Lizards, 7 p.m. start time.
I mean, so that's going to have a playoff atmosphere, that game, and that's two organizations and teams that never really liked each other, to put it mildly. There's always been some chippiness in that rivalry. I mean, it's two of this league. We've had championship games against each other, and it gets chippy. I played a lot, and we played against Brian Spallina, and he was pretty chippy a lot for them when I played for the Bayhawks. And it's just two organizations that have a lot of respect for each other, but are going to battle and play hard against each other.
Charlotte with the ball. This is James Barclay, rookie out of Providence, program that been on the rise in the Big East Conference a couple of years ago, made it to the championship game of the Big East tournament.
Yeah, Coach Gabriella has done an unbelievable job with that program up there and getting that program on the map.
Of course, John Galloway was a former assistant coach at Providence, the gold medal winning goalie for Team USA and the head coach at Jacksonville University. Here's Dane Smith. Try to give it to Heacock. And near the end line, it's Mangan coming together with Bassett. And this is going to be Chesapeake ball with Bassett out of position. Chesapeake wants to attack as quickly as they can. Got a pretty good rise out of a crowd that is mostly situated underneath the concourse, which I don't think you can blame them. I think a Navy camp was here for the game today.
Looks like Navy has their men's lacrosse camp this week. It's a great camp ran by the coaches here at Navy.
Sieverts tees one up, and Bassett makes the save. It's a big windup there by
Heacock, he let Pierce Bassett have it on that hit. I'll tell you that. Oof. And Heacock is not small. He is a big dude.
6'3", 210 in your program. We have 9:10 left to go before these players can get dry. It has been basically like this for the majority of the day, for most of this game. We had one little stretch, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, where it basically let up, but then it came back. Rotans dodging towards the crease, and now the ball loose right there below the goal line. Coming out with it is Mr. Kevin Cooper, who's got a hat trick today.
Great ground ball by Cooper, and a good job getting it to his teammate Rambo there. That's not an easy play with those defensemen beating on you like that.
And then we have to
give our thanks to our crew that is out in the elements as well, our camera operators, everybody that set everything up. Before you and I even got here, they were out here in the rain setting things up. We came rolling in.
They do all the hard work.
All ready to go, you know, and they would do all the work for us. So our thanks go to our LSN crew here at Annapolis today. 18-6 Charlotte leads here in the fourth quarter.
Joe Walters is predictable. He's easy to guard. Jordan Wolf won't pan out. He's a one-trick pony.
Joey Sankey's too small. Joey Sankey won't make it at the next level.
What's up, lacrosse fans? Have you heard? Lax Sports Network is now free. You can enjoy over 150 live games, including all of the MLL regular season and over 200 hours of original content. Check us out at laxsportsnetwork.com or download the LSN app. Available on iOS, Android, Roku, Chromecast, Amazon Fire Stick, Apple TV, and Xbox. It's all free, so what are you waiting for?
New York sat atop the lacrosse world. 2016 was the year of the Outlaws. And 2017 saw a takeover by the Machines. Who will get their hands on the Seinfeld Trophy in 2018? Find out on August 18th when the new MLL champion is crowned in Charleston, South Carolina. Tickets are on sale now at MajorLeagueLacrosse.com.
Look at the Week 13 scoreboard on Thursday. New York with the Will Manny beat the shot clock game-winning goal in that one. So they're 6-6, tied with Charlotte right now for the fourth playoff spot. Atlanta trying to creep their way up, though, have a 7-3 lead at Ohio right now. They had a long weather delay. So let's look at the standings. You'll see what we're talking about. With New York tied with Charlotte 6-6. Right now, the Hounds, we can almost put this in the win column for them. They're going to be 7-6 and be alone in fourth. But Atlanta will win at 5-6, and they're going to be knocking at the door. Meanwhile, that Denver-Dallas game tomorrow has a lot of effect on this Chesapeake team, potentially. With Denver a chance maybe to leapfrog Chesapeake. And home field advantage in Denver, it's a real thing. You know,
yes, it is.
It's, you know, I mean, maybe too much gets made of it sometimes when you talk about the altitude difference, but it definitely affects you, and Denver plays super well at home in that offense.
I don't think it's just only the altitude. I think it's the playing in that stadium, because it's a different atmosphere, number one, and it's such a big stadium that not many of the other stadiums in the league are like that.
Oh, another one. Tickles the twine, sprays the rain out of the net. Kevin Cooper, his fourth of the day. 19-6 Charlotte.
And another assisted goal for Charlotte. You know, as they move the ball, working the pick game, finding the open guy, you know, and Cooper's able to bury it. You see, you know, Rotance comes around. You see Cooper cleared through earlier in the play, and now he knows his defenseman has to go, so he creates space by moving up the field, and then he steps into the shot and beats Phipps high to high. And the key to that goal is what Kevin Cooper does without the ball in his stick. He's not standing there waiting for it. He's increasing his angle, getting higher on the field and creating a better angle for a shot, and also creating separation from his defenseman, knowing he needed to slide and help his fellow defenseman out.
Stadium public address announced that goal as unassisted, but saw on the replay as clear as day. I mean,
yeah, you can't steal assist away from Rotance on that. No,
that was assisted by Rotance.
He earned every bit of that.
So 8. I'm going to give him the assist on that one. So 8 assists on the 18 goals that Charlotte has scored. Obviously, one of them a 2-pointer. 19-6. And again, this is a Charlotte team. Last game they played against Dallas, season low 9 goals. The week before was a season low when they scored 10. And things have certainly come back to them offensively. And sure, you know, we could sit here and say, well, you know, it's maybe Chesapeake's defense, this and that, but for them, they're not thinking about that. This is a confidence boost for them to know that they can put 18, 19, 20 in the back of the net.
It's still in the win column, says the same thing, win.
And they're still playing another professional lacrosse team on the other side, no matter who it is.
And I mean, this Bayhawks team, I mean, even though they're missing guys, it's still a pretty good team. They got some stars out here. You know, I just think they're missing on both ends of the field their glue, and the guys that really hold them together. and that makes a big difference when you're missing guys like that, like a Danowski and a Bernhardt, just because not only is their play, but their leadership is big as well.
I'm looking forward to seeing the whistles and Chesapeake ball. Looking forward to seeing the Bayhawks and how they will regroup Thursday when they play at Atlanta.
And the big question there is, does Lyle Thompson go into the lineup?
Bayhawks will get one back on the dodge down the middle and score by Ryan Tucker, fourth-year man out of the University of Virginia. His 14th goal this season.
And kind of going back to what we were talking about before about Lyle Thompson, how do you not put him in the lineup? Right. I mean, he's so good, you got to put him in the lineup. And here we see Jay Carlson does a great job picking the ball up quickly, getting a quick restart, and then Tucker cutting to the front of the goal, gives it to him, good finish inside. Just a little bit too late for these guys. 19-7, it's a tough job, but even though, you want to keep playing because you're playing for your spot every week in this league.
Chesapeake with the face-off win. Stephen Kelly came into today, I think, second in the league, second or first, 55%. His face-off percentage. The team is 53.5%, which is second. That I guess it depends on how maybe you qualify, because Max Adler, limited time with Denver, might have the best percentage-wise in the league. And here's another one. This time it's Colin Heacock, his second of the day. Now it's 19-8. And as you said, Bugs, Chesapeake, a lot of guys out there who might be, not that Colin Heacock is, but a lot of guys out there right now who
Brandon
are
Magnan.
Exactly, saw him on the screen, playing here. They want to play hard to end the game for future opportunity.
Absolutely, and this is, I think, the best possession that they had all night so far here. You saw it go from Miles Jones, to the next guy, then to Magnan, and then to Heacock, and that's how you score in this league. And Brandon Magnan, he's playing for a place in this league tonight. He previously was in Ohio. Didn't necessarily play much for the Bayhawks. This is his first game for the Bayhawks, and if he can make an impression on Coach Cottle or another team in this league, that's going to be big for him, not only for this year, but the start of next year as well.
Charlotte comes out with the face-off win and attacking the goal, Noah Rack. He has a couple of assists this year. His rookie season, playing in his 7th game out of UMass, where he finished this past year, his senior year, 15th in the country and 0.3% for the Minutemen, for the Gorillas.
Yeah, he did. I was lucky enough to do, their game against Drexel this year at Drexel, and he had a great game. He was, he was really good at the face-off X, and he was also, good with the ball on his stick. He did a good job controlling the offense when he won the face-off and getting it to the guys on the offensive end that he needed to.
We got a bit of a moment here. Just MLL want to thank some of their sponsors. New Balance Lacrosse, proud sponsor of Major League Lacrosse. Of course, see them all over the place with the uniforms and the cleats. And here on the offensive end for Charlotte. And whoa. Then, your guess is as good as mine. 20th for Charlotte.
I thought there was going to be a push on Charlotte, and somehow they end up with the ball and they score. And is that Rambo that scores that goal?
Yeah, it might be Rambo's first goal of the day. 4:41 left to go in this one. It is Charlotte 20, Chesapeake 8. This is Major League Lacrosse on Lax Sports Network.
Welcome to Ellison Training, your destination for learning about the sport of lacrosse. Whether you are new to the sport or play at the highest level, Ellison Training has tips, tools, and guidance. Now here's what you can look forward to. Lax 101 for the newbies, and for you pros, there's also Lax AP. We've worked with some of the best in the business, and it was all for you. For players, for coaches, parents, honestly, anyone. There's drills, tips, how-tos for every aspect of the sport. There's even fitness and nutrition. Ellison Training is where it's at. So what are you waiting for? Wild and crazy Saturday night, and this is Lacrosse Now.
Katie Kerrigan with Ben Reeves.
Be honest, how much do you still think about that goal?
What was it like getting a chance to hoist that trophy?
This is absolute hammer time. Look at this move.
He was perfect. He was exactly what we needed on our offense.
Occupying defenders and eliminating the second slide.
Head to this cone and touch.
Get in, get out. Bang. Good.
Day in and day out. We built it for the player who pushes their body to the limits, all to get that extra step. We built it for the player who wants speed. We built it for her.
Well, there's our Coca-Cola player of the game, Kevin Cooper. 4 goals in this game. And now Bugs, Dylan Malt scored 3. Tim Rotans has 3. Mike Chanachuk has 2, but he set the tone. 3 of the first 6 goals for the Hounds.
Yeah, 3 of the first 6 goals, and he did it in different ways. You see the first one's a one-on-one dodge. The second one here is a great pass by Rambo in transition, beats Amato up top. You know, he also had an assist, and then you continue to see this right off the face-off somewhere. They haven't been great. You know, he gets the ball from Rack, and he finishes it right away. You know, beats him. You see the nice rain coming off the net. And this one from Rotans, and then does a great job of creating his angle and moving up the field as he catches the ball and beats Phipps. And it's been a great night, and, you know, it's probably pretty fitting on Maryland night that, you know, one of the Maryland guys is probably the Coca-Cola player of the game. I mean, that's the way it should be, right?
Let's be honest. Odds were it was going to be a Maryland guy. If it wasn't Cooper, it could have been Maltz.
And for him, you know, like we said earlier, being a homecoming, you know, he played at Archbishop Spalding, up high school up the street. You know, University of Maryland was, I believe, part of the Bayhawks team at 2 different times in his career. And then, you know, now he goes out and he's being successful coming back at home playing.
Regroup for Thursday and play at Atlanta. And Heacock on cue now has a hat trick of his own. So they'll regroup and play Thursday at Atlanta, a team that, even if they end up losing the game that they're winning at Ohio right now, would still be in the playoff hunt. So either way, Atlanta will have something to play for on Thursday. And then just a 2-day quick turnaround. Be back here next Saturday to take on Denver. So it's...
And just think of the things that are going to open up for Colin Heacock. If, you know, you bring Matt Danowski back, Josh Byrne back, Lyle Thompson. You know, there's going to be some things to open up. He was a marked man tonight, and for him to still be able to have 3 goals, that's a good night for him. And I really liked his dodge and the way he went at his defenseman on that goal and his previous goal in the 3rd quarter. I'm not sure why that's not a foul right there. Costable, the ball's in his stick, and he grabs the head of his turn.
Maybe the officials just don't want to blow the whistles anymore. Keep the clock moving here. Seeing puddles start to form on the turf, which usually takes a bit longer for that to happen on this type of surface. And is that a good goal for Brandon Mangan? It is.
They're going to call it a goal. I'd definitely like to take another look at this to see if it goes in. But it's a great shot by Mangan, and again, a guy that's auditioning for not only the Bayhawks but the other teams in this league to see if he can find a job. You know, good job by Heacock here. Gets into his defenseman, finds it move. Mangan moves up the field, uses his defenseman as a screen, and then puts it right in that bounce, off the bounce, right in that top corner. That's definitely a goal. Yeah. You know, the official Brian Abbott was right there, and he called it a goal, and he was correct. And this is, you know, Coach Cottle, you know, he loves the chemistry of this team and the continuity of this team, and I think this is part of the reason why is that guys aren't quitting. They're down by 12 goals, and they're still going hard, trying to make plays, you know, and getting what they can done right now. It'd be real easy there just to kind of lay down at the end of the game down by 12 goals, but you're seeing the character of the Bayhawks, and, you know, this is what I would expect from, you know, this organization. You know, the owner of the organization is that guy, you know, and Coach Cottle is that type of coach.
Maltz. Out to Cooper, looking for a 5th and denied by Phipps. So again, the MLL, I like to thank it sponsors New Balance. Proud sponsor of MLL, Coca-Cola, the Official fan refreshment of Major League Lacrosse, Cascade, the Cascade S helmet, the pinnacle of protection, comfort, and vision. Brine. For more on Brine, visit brine.com. Powerade, we saw our Powerade Power Through play of the game earlier was Michael Chenenchuk's 2-point goal. Maverick Lacrosse, proud equipment supplier of Major League Lacrosse. Our Maverick player spotlight players today, Matt Rambo for Charlotte. Just scored his first goal not too long ago, but he's been doing it as a feeder today with 4 assists. And Colin Heacock, just a few moments ago himself, picked up his 3rd goal for a hat trick. And also want to thank String King for their support in this 2018 MLL season as we coming up on the 2-minute mark in a game that has been dominated by the Hounds from start to finish. Jumped out to a 3-0 lead, and at no point was it tied other than 0-0, which doesn't officially count. Now tied, and obviously Chesapeake never had the lead in this one.
And you know, Charlotte they took advantage of their opportunities early in the game, and then that second quarter they just really created separation from the Bayhawks, and the Bayhawks, they just couldn't get things going, and they couldn't have, you know, they couldn't have success after success. And I think the key to that was really the face-off X for the Hounds. Even though the numbers don't show it, they didn't allow the Bayhawks to score goals and win face-offs, and so that took the momentum away from them. And within that, they won. When they won the face-off, they scored in that possession.
Again, Charlotte came in 44% at the X. Today, Chesapeake has won 18 of the 32. So 18 wins for Chesapeake, 14 for Charlotte. But again, they might lose that battle, but we saw on a couple of occasions winning back-to-back or winning the face score. Just those little things that, sure, you can handle losing the overall face-off matchup. Just somewhat matters when each happen.
And I think also with Charlotte, those guys got 2 goals off the face-off. They got the goal from Kevin Cooper, and then Massa got his first career goal in his 4 years of playing. And you know, those things happen, and that's a big deal. And I think from a team standpoint, you're also seeing here now what Coach Stagnita is able to do is he's able to substitute his goalie, Pierce Bassett, and get Dom Lamalera in the goal. And so you're even having your backup goalie play, you know, really your 3rd goalie, because Cipriano's not here tonight because he had something that he had going on in his life. And then Pierce Bassett plays great. And then you're able to reward your 3rd goalie and get him some time and get his feet a little bit wet in case somehow you would either need him later down the line.
Literally.
Yeah, right, literally. Because, again, and this is a hard time to come in as a goalie. You've been sitting on the sideline in a downpour for the last 2 hours, but I'm sure he's excited to get his opportunity in this league and play. You know, and you know, the Bayhawks call a timeout there because, you know what, they're not giving up. They're going to go as hard as they can, and you never know what any of the tiebreakers are down the line. You know, you want to try to play this game out as much as possible, score as many goals as possible, and give up the least amount of goals.
Still one more game left in the Week 13 schedule tomorrow, Denver and Dallas, and here's what is remaining for these two teams. Charlotte, so this is the quirkiness of the schedule. Charlotte finishes up their season not even in the last week of the season. They play at Boston to finish next Saturday. Meanwhile, Chesapeake has to play 2 Week 14 games and then finish off on Long Island against New York. So
you play Bayhawks Saturday night, Thursday night, then Saturday night. That's 3 games in 7 days. That's a tough stretch to play, but that's why you're professionals.
As you mentioned, Dom Lamalera in goal now. I have him. I must have had a typo on my sheet here. I wrote him in as 5'2". I don't think that's correct. So 6'2", I'm gonna guess. Although that might be generous. But he's in the goal. That's all that matters.
He's getting his playing time.
Doesn't matter what I write on my little sheet here. He's from Syracuse. Know that.
He's got one of the old 50 numbers on.
Off the pipe. He's looking around for it.
Look, he even gets a save now, so he gets in the stat book.
That's great.
Got in the game. Got to be happy. Team's winning.
So the shot clock off here, and Charlotte can wind this one down and take home what looks to be a 20-10 victory to snap their 4-game losing streak and go to 7-6 and snap Chesapeake's 7-game winning streak. And now 2 of Chesapeake's this year will be against the Hounds. May 3rd in Charlotte, and now today July 21st in Annapolis. So Charlotte has Chesapeake's number, you could say, and this could very well be a playoff matchup at some point. As Hounds, Charlotte 20, Chesapeake 10. Bugs, again, we've talked about it for Charlotte. Jim Stagnita has to be thrilled with the way his team played start to finish and all over the field today.
Yeah, you know, he got what he wanted out of this, and they came away from playing a Chesapeake team, whether they didn't have some of their top players or not. It's still the MLL. It's still the top league in the world. You're playing against some of the best players in the world, and to come out and win 20-10, not only win, but I mean, really handle the game from, you know, the beginning of the game to the end of the game.
All right, so once again, our final score from Annapolis, Charlotte 20 and Chesapeake 10. For Bugs Combs and our entire crew here, I'm Scott Sudikoff. We thank you for watching this Major League Lacrosse game on Lax Sports Network. Now, we're going to send you to Fortress Obet's third quarter in action, the Atlanta Blaze and the Ohio Machine.
What's up, lacrosse fans? I'm Alex Fuller. Do you know an outstanding player who has recently done something so awesome on the field and you think they deserve to be put in the spotlight? You're in luck. We are now introducing LSN Spotlight. Parents, coaches, even players, if you have someone in mind, send us their name, age, who they play for, and either a picture or video to lsnspotlight@laxsportsnetwork.com for a chance to be featured. Come on, I know you all want to highlight your sick BTBs or crazy 10-goal games, or even your most creative sellies.
Welcome to Ellison Training, your destination for learning about the sport of lacrosse. Whether you are new to the sport or play at the highest level, Ellison Training has tips, tools, and guidance. Now here's what you can look forward to. Lax 101 for the newbies, and for you pros, there's also Lax AP. We've worked with some of the best in the business, and it was all for you, for players, for coaches, parents, honestly, anyone. There's drills, tips, how-tos for every aspect of the sport. There's even fitness and nutrition. Ellison Training is where it's at. So what are you waiting for? Wild and crazy Saturday night, and this is Lacrosse Now.
Katie Kerrigan with Ben Reeves.
Be honest, how much do you still think about that goal?
What was it like getting a chance to hoist that trophy?
This is absolute hammer time. Look at this move.
He was perfect. He's exactly what we needed on our offense.
Occupying defenders and eliminating the second slide.
Head to this cone and touch.
Get in, get out. Bang. Good.
What's up, lacrosse fans? Have you heard? Lax Sports Network is now free. You can enjoy over 150 live games, including all of the MLL regular season and over 200 hours of original content. Check us out at laxsportsnetwork.com or download the LSN app. Available on iOS, Android, Roku, Chromecast, Amazon Fire Stick, Apple TV, and Xbox. It's all free, so what are you waiting for?